Hello everyone, welcome back to Josh Impact Insights, your weekly talk show about causes and effects. Did you know cancer is the second most common reason for death in India? The cases are estimated to rise to approximately 16 lakhs by 2025, a 13% jump from the 2020 figure. Every year, 6 crore of India's population goes below the poverty line because of the catastrophic healthcare related expenditure on cancer. About 20% of the total spend on CSR is focused on healthcare. However, much of the spend tends to be focused on health camps and building hospitals or donating to hospitals for upkeep of facilities. But there is also a need to spend the company and government funds in the right areas like cancer awareness, early detection, treatment funding, as well as rehabilitation and survivorship of patients so as to improve the situation. To throw more light on the problems that come along with cancer and how we as a community can help, let's welcome our guest today, Dimple Parmar, co-founder of NGO Love Heals Cancer and integrative oncology cancer care startup ZenOnco. After losing her husband to cancer, Dimple dedicated her life to helping cancer patients and their caregivers with regards to guiding in medical treatment and managing side effects through complementary treatment to make it integrative. She has been a pioneer in bringing integrative oncology to India. Having touched thousands of lives for her inspiring and revolutionary work, Dimple has been awarded Top 100 Healthcare Leader Award and 101 Most Fabulous Healthcare Leaders Award. Hi, Dimple, and welcome to Josh Impact Insights.
Thank you so much, Tavishi. It's been a pleasure always to associated with Josh and also the wonderful work which you all are doing. So it's the honor is mine. Thank you.
Thank you, Dimple. It is great to have you. You have been doing so much work on the ground for cancer patients. How did this journey begin? And how did you get the idea of starting an NGO for cancer patients?
So the idea of NGO came when my one of my friend was suffering from cancer, and that time did not even know about the disease, what cancer is, and what does it mean to have cancer, what all challenges and suffering is involved in this. So it has started 4 years back when I was studying at IIM Calcutta. One of my friend was diagnosed with the disease, so I was taking care of him, and gradually in the same journey we fell in love. And after he finished his treatment, just within few days his disease relapsed and spread to the multiple organs throughout the body. So that time he was being given 6 months by doctors, and we tried every possible thing to help him, save him, and thousands of people came forward to support him. So unfortunately the disease was way too aggressive, and also I had this hope that something can still be done. Had heard of many radical remission survivors, clinical trial survivors, and advanced treatment. Because of that, we can probably extend his life. And with that hope, I got married to him, took him to US for advanced treatment. And unfortunately, because of the nature of the disease, and also he was quite young, just 25 years of age, it was spreading really fast, and we lost him in March 2018. So after we lost Nitesh, I was that was my inner calling to serve cancer patients, to work in this field to help other cancer patients, because what I felt that there are millions of other people who are going through the similar journey, and when once someone is diagnosed, it's a whole new world of cancer that everybody get lost in, and they look for the initial guidance, support, they go through the shock of initial diagnosis. So that was my mission, to help cancer patients, guide them, give them hope, and support them from all the fronts what they need. So I learned from some top-notch scientists in the US about integrative cancer care, and then what all things can be done in this space. Because what I saw from my own journey, that there were many gaps that exist in the ecosystem, and because of that, caregivers and patients suffer a lot. And in fact, many times doctors in the entire care, they also feel helpless in terms of saving the patient, in terms of helping the patient from holistic point of view. So we felt the need of a platform that provides end-to-end care to cancer patients. And also when we talk about cancer, there are many challenges that people face. So started an organization called Love Heals Cancer. Love Heals Cancer is a non-profit organization to support cancer patients, and that we started in 2018. So that's how my journey with cancer began.
Hats off to you for channeling your pain into a strength for others. There are so many challenges faced by cancer patients as well as survivors. In what ways do you think the masses can be sensitized on the various facets of cancer?
So what we see, today, like as I said, the number of ratio in which the patient get diagnosed is very poor. So like more than 70% of the diagnosis in the late stage. Now, why is that poor number? Because not much of focus is given on the awareness, prevention, and early detection front. A lot of cancer like breast cancer, oral cancer, cervical cancer, all of this cancer can easily be detectable and also preventable, because early detection is the cure for this disease, because right now we don't have any cure for cancer. So if masses can be sensitized towards not ignoring sign and symptoms for cancer, we see today many patients, they ignore people, they ignored, even Nitesh ignored the sign and symptoms what his body was giving. So not ignoring the sign and symptoms, and also doing the regular screening, focusing on the early detection, and also healthy lifestyle. This is one pillar of the entire cancer care. Now, second pillar is during the treatment, where we talked about integrative care, where patients when they take the medical treatment, but then that's not the ultimate cure. We all know that. So how do I increase my chances of cure? How do I maintain a very healthy lifestyle? How do I improve the clinical efficacy of the treatment that I'm taking currently? That's another pillar where a lot of focus and also research needs to be done. Third is the palliative care, where the focus is on quality of life. No matter in what phase of cancer journey you are in, be it the initial phase or middle phase or the survivorship or end of life phase, the quality of life should always be paramount importance, because otherwise the struggle and suffering is there.
You have helped so many people in need. How do you reach out to the right people who need help?
We get patients from word of mouth, from the network and community that we have built. So be it the financial support or the emotional support or the community support or the right treatment advice, second opinion, or could be what to eat, what not to eat, who is the similar cancer survivor or caregiver, or how to raise funds or medical loan or anything else. Through known people, through community, social media, different platforms, they come to us and then ask for the advice, guidance. And also before Corona, we used to go to different dharamshalas where a lot of patients live together, like hundreds of people live together who are coming across India to the cities like Mumbai, Delhi for the treatment. So we used to go there and then provide them emotional support, doing healing circles with them, food, nutritional, dietary supplements, and some other basic necessities to live, basically grocery and all we used to provide them.
I'm sure all this must be requiring a huge amount of funds. How do you manage your funding?
Managing funds has always been a challenge with non-profits, and here a couple of ways through which we manage our things. One is through the power of people. So we see that the disease that has not left any family behind. Almost we see that in every family, either the immediate family member or relative had cancer or is having cancer, so they want to give back, and that's how we know whenever we get donation, we use it for those people who are looking for support. So I believe that the power of people, the capital that we have, that has immense value, and also that can do wonders. That's one. Second is our another venture, Zenonco.io, that is supporting Love Heals Cancer, because there are many patients who come to Zenonco and they say that not able to afford the medicines, or so we provide drugs at low price as well. The chemotherapy drugs who are there, they are very expensive. Like every cycle drug costs 2 to 3 lakhs rupees. So another way is that. And third is at times we do campaigns like grocery donation. So in that, people don't donate money, rather they donate groceries.
Any gap areas you see where companies or individuals can focus to provide help in this segment?
Few areas, if you say the constant funding, I'd say one is the emotional support, because there are many people who might provide food and nutrition. Still there are not many, but still that can be arranged. But then the emotional support is something that not everybody can provide, because that requires time, attention, and being with that person mentally all the time. So that second would be to provide supplements, because if it's a patient or it's a caregiver, the kind of hustle they go through, they get tired, exhausted. And I believe that these nutraceutical supplements can really add value. These are the natural ones that can, give them strength when they are going through that, the physical strength as well. So that is, and the basic like oral hygiene, sanitary hygiene, all those support that they need when they are, because the condition in which they live in dharamshalas are not good. So they are also prone to many other kind of infections along with the cancer. So that is, and also we see that, you know, some patients that at times they need wheelchair or some kind of medicines, or for kids who have cancer, they need protein or milk powder and many other kind of. So those can be the, you know, areas where funds can be provided so that they get the constant continuous support. Yeah, the funds are not much on the front of awareness and, as I said, early detection and prevention. So cancer is a very complicated disease. Till date there is no cure, and every year 8 to 9 to 10 lakhs people die of this disease. So if the disease get detected in the early stage, let's say first or second stage, the cost of treatment is pretty low in that stage. The chances of survival are very high, and obviously, I mean, everything gets better if it's early diagnosis. So if it reaches late stage, it's really difficult to cure, and also the funds that you spend will be like unlimited on that front, and the side effects and everything is more complicated, and there is no end to the treatment in that case. So one is the lot of, you know, focus should be given on the early detection, because in, if you see, awareness not there in any tier, be it tier 1 or 2 or 3, and infrastructure is not there in tier 2 and tier 3. Now once somebody is diagnosed already, how do we increase the chances of cure? Now there are patients, let's say if we talk about below poverty line patients who comes across India to different cities where they get the government hospital and treatments. So they take the medical treatment what hospital is providing, which is very good. But then what about the other aspects of their life? How do they prevent that cancer from cancer coming back? How do you improve your quality of life so that you're able to fight with the disease in a better way? If you have good, if your willpower is strong, if you have good mental and emotional strength, and if you have enough food and supplements to eat, then your half of the battle is already won, more than half I'd say, because medicines are doing their own work, but it will be more effective once these things are also sorted. So I think if, you know, we can provide enough food and also enough medicines, or the basic, not the cancer medicines because the hospital is providing that, but other in support system that they need, then even those people who are diagnosed with cancer, they can have a good quality of life and can have a better outcome at the disease. Now third is the area where end of life care. So when somebody, for patients when the cancer is spread to other organs, and when doctors say that nothing can be done, go home and let the nature takes its course. Even during that phase, the quality is not there. We have seen they suffer a lot. By that time, funds and mental, emotional strength, everything is being exhausted. And patient prays that I die, and family prays that patient die in peace. So even that time they need a lot of support in terms of the ambulance from, you know, going from their own cities, from Mumbai, let's say tier 2 tier 3, from wherever they're coming, or the basic hygiene for the patient when they are on bed rest. Sometimes cleaning, like the entire hygiene and the sanitization part, not every time caregiver is able to do. I've seen caregiver when they feel it as a burden, frustrated, irritated, not able to take care of the patient. So they need caretaker or that kind of end of life support where patient can die with dignity and they can die in peace. So I think these three fronts where a lot of work still yet to be done. Another thing, where patients do need a lot of support, and if we have funds, we can definitely channelize in those direction. There are many financial grants and support available in India. Maybe Pradhan Mantri Yojana, maybe it's your state government, or maybe some hospital support, or maybe some trust or something like that. But people don't know how to avail that. So even in my times, it was a big hassle and struggle for me to compile. First of all, you need to find out who all to know. There can be 500 resources like this, but who to reach out to, and also after that, what all paperwork, because you are taking care of a patient, and it's not it's really difficult to do all of this together. So would love to have a team of people who can, do only the paperwork and the right guidance for others. What we see that even corporates have sometimes this kind of funds for cancer patients, but then awareness is not there that which corporate to reach out to, what are the different schemes that are available in my region to avail that. So even, and everybody struggle with the funds in cancer. So something like that can also be done to guide them in the right direction to avail those funds.
Sure. So any last message for the viewers?
Yes, it's we all know that cancer is a complicated disease. It's difficult, but it's not impossible to cure, because if we do the right things at the right time, definitely this disease can be managed well, quality can be improved, life can be extended. And we can also talk about the survivorship once we do right things at the right time. And as the three pillars I said, one is the focusing on the awareness, screening, early detection. Second is during the treatment, taking care of the integrative cancer care, where we not only focus on the treatment but also the side effects and quality of life. And third is the palliative care, end of life support. So once we focus on these three aspects of it, I think the cancer will be just another disease we look at, like BP, diabetes. And this can be improved a lot better, a lot more, if we focus on these three pillars and work in the same direction. So even to the CSR funds or any other donors we are, who is watching this or we are reaching out to, if we can channelize our energies or funds in this direction, a lot of change can actually happen.
Thank you so much, Dimple, for these wonderful insights. I'm sure it will help companies and individuals to better understand the problems associated with cancer and focus on the right areas for providing help.
Thanks to Josh for doing the wonderful work that you always do. And thank you for spreading the message around this disease, which definitely needs attention because this is spreading, growing very fast. And we really need to do something to stop this and to heal and cure people from cancer.